Hey guys, it's Shadow bringing you guys another video. This time I'm playing at game night in Summit. Really chill spot. Facing my buddy Demise here. I believe he won dice roll. Chose to go first. He's playing blue yellow ace. Just done and passed. I start off with a Lafitte, and I believe I start off with My Era Begins. Yep. So I do the My Era Begins, contemplating on what to grab here. Ultimately, I'm going to choose Burgess just because I want to make sure I have it. But you see, I'm deciding between .Q and Vasco, but I have another .Q in my hand, so I'm not too worried about losing it. Rather just get the Burgess. And in here, my opponent, starting his second turn, is going to swing 5, if I'm not mistaken. He's thinking about it. He's asking what Lafitte does, and then I end up taking the life, and then lo and behold, it is another Burgess. So Burgess is just gonna sit in the hand, or I can use it for discard for anything if I need to. And then he Sanji's Pilafs to draw 2 cards. I know this deck revolves around trying to have the little babies, so if you don't have them, you're kind of in a rough spot when you try to do leader ability. Blue yellow ace is very high rolly in my opinion. But you see, I do a Lafitte search, and I think I grab the other Lafitte, and I, start doing the second Lafitte search, trying to give myself more options and grab what I need. And right here, I'm grabbing the Van Augur. But really, it's, again, to have pseudo blockers, because people are going to want to get rid of the Lafitte so you can't continuously search. And I swing for 5, and he takes it. And then I do a Tempest Kick to draw a card and cycle it to the trash. It is good to remove, the higher cost cards, but blue yellow ace revolves around a lot of the 5 costs, so I don't really need it for the big stuff. And again, it just puts me into other stuff. And then that Tempest Kick did get me a finger pistol, which is more of value for me. So here, he's starting to utilize his leader ability, and I believe he's gonna put an ace at the top. So yep, so it gets the rush ace. I still haven't used leader ability, so if he was at 2 life right here, he would be able to pop off the on-play rush ability. So lucky for me, he was just at 3 life, so the ace does not have rush. So he only can swing with his leader, which is a 9k swing since it did get the +2. And I trigger My Era Begins with only 1 target, so very lucky that I was able to at least find something. But 3 cards to trash. When I do and am able to play a Burgess, it'll be good. So I'm gonna end up playing .Q, and I think I have a Laboon in hand as well. Oh, so no, just kidding, not doing that. But the finger pistol is gonna put in work this turn, so I end up grabbing the stage off the Lafitte search, and I tap it on to play out the stage. But before I use it, I do finger pistol to get rid of the ace, milling a .Q and a teach, which you hate to see teaches go into the trash, but rather remove the threat off the field. I have 3 other ones, so not too worried about it. And then now I do the stage to find a Vasco shot, and at this point I consider pitching a card, him going into his 7 Don turn. Not sure what he could play, but as we know, it's a lot of the the 3 brothers, so potentially a Sabo, a Luffy. Both Luffys are activate main, but not sure what else he's running to kind of get himself there. I know he runs a lot of Flampes, and he has Pudding. And at this moment, it's a good thing that I did truck for leader ability, because he was considering on playing Pudding this turn since I had a lot of cards in hand. So I chose to activate leader ability at a very, very good time here. But it makes his turn awkward now, since he's unable to do what he initially wanted to do. So he starts off with a Pilaf. And here, again, like I'm saying, he's looking for a certain baby to go with cards. And he's going to try activating leader ability here. And I believe he had ace, and the baby ace in his hand. But that's why he's contemplating on what to do, because again, the deck is very high rolly. You're not guaranteeing everything in your search. You might have something to put there, but not have the little brother to go with the piece. Or at best, it's something that you needed, but it's getting sent to the bottom, because you can only grab a 5 cost card. And then if you can't play it out, it gets trashed at the end of your turn per your leader ability. If it's face up in your life, you have to trash your life at the end of the turn. So there, he's looking at his top 5, trying to see what to put. If I'm not mistaken, it is going to be a Luffy, which does get put there. I'm not sure if he has the baby to go with it or not, but it does give him a life for now. And if he's got the baby to do the stuff, he gets himself to 7k leader again, which is what the deck revolves around doing the entire game. But seeing here, since he's not playing out the 2-cost Luffy, shows me that he doesn't have it. So he swings 7. And here I counter out, I do have a lot of cards in hand, and I'd rather start filling up the trash, because if he doesn't play out a body this turn, I plan on establishing double Burgess, specifically to start putting pressure down since he doesn't have anything on the field. And there, you see him contemplate tapping 2. I believe he had an ace in hand, and he didn't want to risk placing the ace down and then I remove it, since he did see I was able to remove his 5-cost ace. So I start off swinging 5 at his leader with mine. Triggers out another Egghead Luffy that knocks my Lafitte. And then I do my leader, or not leader, but stage to pitch Black Hole and grab a 2k counter. I'm really doing this just to start filtering cards I don't need. Black Hole, kind of, it's essential, but a lot of his stuff is 5 cost, so I'd rather have Finger Pistol in my hand. So now I established double Burgess because, again, he wasn't able to establish a body, so I didn't need to remove anything. And basically gave me a free turn to put both down. Worst case, I would have to waste 4 down to remove something. But being able to establish both Burgess with both getting a buff of 4k is perfect. So they're each going to swing for 9k next turn. And then I'll be at 10 Dawn, which I will be able to slam down Blackbeard, which you do see in my hand there. So I'm sitting in a very good spot. And then you see here, he starts to do his leader ability. Again, looking at the top 5. 4 or 5 cost, does not have to be one of the brothers. And he plays out the Rush Ace. And since I did use leader ability again, chucking the dot Q, if he is going to play out the baby and play the ace, it does not gain its rush, because it is an on play. If you have 2 life, you gain rush. So does do the ace, buffs his leader to a 7. With the 2 Dawn, it's going to be a 9k swing. And again, the ace is on the field. And this is where it's going to start getting tricky, because I have the 2 bodies that can put a lot of pressure. Even if he's at 7k, Burgess alone is still going to ask for 3k encounter, since they have the 9k buff. So luckily I was able to find the stage when I did, and triggering out that My Era Begins helped out a lot. With the Finger Pistol as well, milling 2 cards with it. So he taps 5, plays out the Egghead Luffy, and he attempted to do the KO the Burgess, but I informed him that Burgess cannot be KO'd, and I let him take it back. He wasn't very familiar with Blackbeard, so did a lot of testing against a lot of other stuff but this. And then I triggered out a My Era Begins from life, since he ended up swinging at life, and I whiffed the My Era Begins, so it's unfortunate, but I was not upset about it, since it does send 4 cards to my trash, and now my Burgess is at 10k. And here I'm contemplating on what to choose with my 10 drop. I was considering doing ace, since it is a 7k swing, but I opt to choose the Egghead Luffy because now it is unable to use its effect to pop itself and draw a card. So I'd rather allow him to have the ace to still swing, because I have the 10 drop and I have counter in hand, but I'm trying to prevent him from being able to draw. So there, he gives me 2/2Ks for my Burgess swing, and I swing again with the other one. At this point, putting pressure, because now I know I'm sitting good, I have the blocker, and then next turn I can establish a second 10 drop if I absolutely need to. And it looks like he's gonna counter here, but it just shows you, he's been holding on to those Flampeys, and looks like he gave me a Hiyori and 2 1-cost, which one of those being the blocker ace. So now we're starting to dwindle the hand. He's trying to preserve life. At best, he can red rock. I do know that after this game, he started teching in Gravity Blade, and he uses Hiyori to take the life and place a Gravity Blade once a Burgess is on the field, so that if he decides to take the life, which he will, it gets rid of the Burgess. He did get me on that on the weekend. But yeah, at this point, it's a very tough situation. You can try to use leader ability, but who knows if he even has the little babies, and much less what's in his deck, because if he has the pieces he needs in his hand, that pretty much takes away from being able to use the leader ability. And I think at this point, I think he's going to use a double ace and not use leader ability, because that shows me that he has a lot of the pieces that he needed in his hand and not in the deck where he needed them to be. So yeah, you see him separating. He swings 5. Here, I'm debating on whether to counter or not. I do get a free counter, but if I take it, there's a chance I trigger out Finger Pistol. And I decided to just block with it. Honestly, I should have just countered out if I plan on doing that. But he swings 7. I do take that one. And here it looks like I'm contemplating. Oh, I get a black hole trigger, which I choose to nullify his leader ability. Not sure if he was going to use it or not. But nullifying his leader ability prevents him from being able to utilize his attached to Don and look at the top 5 cards. So ended up choosing to use it, and then also it adds an extra card in there for Burgess, because now he's swinging for 11k. So I was okay with losing that one card. And at this point, this is where he's in a pretty tough spot. I decide to swing 11 at the ace. It clears the ace, just taking away pressure. I swing 5 at his lead, and I'm choosing to swing 5 here to bait out one of these aces, hopefully that he turns it sideways, because if he does choose to block with the ace, I'm going to swing at it with the other Burgess. But he ends up countering, which I'm okay with taking a counter from his hand. And then the other Burgess connects, and here I establish my next 10 drop, and I choose the Egghead Luffy again. Yes, I could have nullified one from not being able to block, but at least I'm preventing him from being able to draw, because at this point that's what he needs. And at this point he pretty much has to somehow go for game. I did pitch for leader ability, pitching the stronger, so that's where he's unable to, again, to do any of his rush plays with the yellow ace, and not sure if he has any more, because I think he used 2 at this point. But yeah, he's trying to figure out a way to get through, but 2 teachers on the field at this point, it's very, very difficult to get through. Not only that, if he attempts to swing at Burgess, the teacher's just going to block for it. So it looks like he chose to swing 9 at my leader. I'm going to just give him a block, because it's a free block. No point in even trying to take any of those hits. And then he plays down a Fist Luffy, and at this point I pretty much knew I have to go for game here. I could establish another teach if absolutely needed, but no point. I'm just going to swing with the Burgesses and take what I can get, and I do end up finding the other teach, which could have nullified the Fist Luffy or anything, but just pressuring leader at this point is what I got to do. I swing 5. He uses Blaze Slice, which rests one of the Burgesses, which caught me off guard, but swing with the other one. Here, he's either going to have to take it or block, but I still have 10 Don. I have the Lafitte standing and 2 teaches, so I'm going to be able to swing out. I believe he's going to take the life, and you're going to see me slap all the Don on Lafitte, swing with that, and then swing with both teachers to end the game here. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought of the game, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.